Okay, tonight we're talking about mindset change. This is radically different because imagine if you knew that you could manifest reality, if that your thoughts could actually become things, if you can think things into existence. It's like having a genie. What if disease didn't exist? What if your mind can actually control everything? Doesn't that sound cool? It can. I love this one. Men are not prisoners of fate, only prisoners of their own minds. And you can look at this, and there's multiple movies that talk about this. But if you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're going to be right. And that was Henry Ford. So the power of your thought not only changes physiology, but changes what's attracted into your life. Now, communication we're going to start with. Now, I got a lot of this information from several different masters. One of them was Tony Robbins, and it was a 5-day seminar. I'm not going to give you all of that information, okay? But I got to tell you right now, communication is ideal. Now, communicating with others, you would think that words are important. They're not as important as tone. They're not as important as tone. Or they're not as important as tone. So what's more important? The words, I love you, or I love you. You got it matters, okay? So the tone, voice qualities, but also physiology. You're just amazing. You're just amazing. Okay, I mean, so how you project it, okay? It's not just a visual thing, it's everything. This is why in communication they say if you're talking to someone on the phone, smile. Because you can sense that energy. This is huge, communication with yourself. Now, self-talk is everything. When I'm watching the military channel, and I was watching the Navy SEALs, the hardest military program on the planet, and they said, and I mean, imagine getting positive thought from watching the military channel. Okay, you generally don't. I watch it so I could see stuff blown up. But they had those. It's really fun if you're a guy. So, so what we're doing is they're talking about the Navy SEAL program, and they say who passes it, who makes it through, what's the best. And they had the sergeant there, and he says, "Look, we've had Iowa farm boys that have never seen the ocean pass, and Olympic athletes fail." And the one deciding factor is self-talk. And this is how we decide. And this is also how we judge our world. Because if you can master self-talk, you can master reality and you can manifest things. Like I am. I'm healthy. I'm dynamic. I'm handsome. I'm good looking. I suck. I'm stupid. I'm out of shape. I'm worthless. Okay, those things, those precepts of what you're going to put in front of I am, okay, are everything. They determine your reality. So if you can focus in on that and change that, you're going to make a difference. What about this? When you go up to people, people are generous, people are kind, people are loving. People are rude. People are selfish. People are stupid or anxious. So would how you view people change your communication with others? Like, have you ever gone into a room and you met someone and you just liked them? You don't know why. You just think, wow, they're cool. Okay, this is why, because the energy that they have inside of them, you're aware of. And more people are more aware of others, but you can also sense if the people are not comfortable or there's not a good projection there. And this is where it starts in the self-talk. So the self-talk, this is changing the story of your life. It's I am what? Okay, and this is how you're going to learn how to reprogram your subconscious. And if you can reprogram your subconscious, which is the actual doer, they say the conscious mind creates the goals, the subconscious mind gets it done. Okay, and this is over 80% of how your mind works. So I'm going to teach you how to program your subconscious mind. Self-talk is one of the major ones. Now, how about he is or she is? How would you like to have a relationship that she just doesn't understand me? She just doesn't listen, okay? She doesn't love me. She doesn't do this. Okay, so you're predisposing something or your perception onto a person. How is that going to change your reaction? If you want a good relationship, one of the best things is to act as if. Have-ish, she was loving, or he was loving, or she was passionate, or he was passionate. So if you change your thoughts in that, you're going to actually change the relationship. I know it seems too simple with that, but it actually is. Now, fear is one of the things that stops us from doing this. Because when we put judgments on people, and we put judgments on things or events, okay, we actually, we have fear to protect us. Because, why don't you want to start a relationship? My gosh, I could be rejected. I know it sounds stupid. Who would reject me? But no, it's possible. I know. I've been single for 17 years. Okay. Disappointment. Okay, so fear is a survival mechanism. It's not anything negative. In fact, fear doesn't go away. My dad had a brilliant, and here he is, a World War II vet. And I thought when I was growing up that, I was always a tough, strong kid, but I was scared to do things. I was scared to go in front of groups. I know. Good, go figure. Okay, I got over it. But when you look at this, he said, because when I was going to do something different, you know how you get that like weird, scared feeling? I thought that I was actually a coward, and he says, no, pal. He says, everybody, brave men and coward, have that same scared feeling. It's just a brave man doesn't let it affect his actions. He just goes in there and gets the job done. So you got to learn to live with fear. Fear doesn't go away. Okay, it absolutely doesn't go away. But fear is also stopping you from doing it. So understand when you're trying to change your life, well, not trying. What did Yoda say? Do or do not. Okay, there is no trying. Okay, so what you got to do is you got to understand the fear doesn't go away. Now, some people have absolutely mastered their environment. They're completely negative all the time. Okay, people like this. Okay, beautiful sunny day. How you doing? Same different day. Okay. How's your sweetheart? Same thing. I'm going to go home. They've mastered their reality. So it doesn't matter if they're wealthy. It doesn't matter if they're poor. It doesn't matter if they're healthy. They're not going to be looking at the things that they've achieved. Okay, they have mastered it. And how do you master negative emotion? You look at the news. Okay, if I'd read the newspaper, I would even watch the news if it was balanced. Do they show on the news that over 3,000 women were helped to this car with groceries today? Did they show on the news? And that's just in Huntington Beach. In Huntington Beach, there were over 50,000 acts of kindness. People smiled on the freeway and actually allowed other cars in. Yeah. No, seriously, it really happened. And we're talking over thousands and thousands and thousands of positive, loving actions occurred today. And, of course, there was a robbery at Costa Mesa liquor store. But look at all the other things that happened. Okay, so it's totally out of balance. So when you watch this, most people don't. They do it mechanically or with rote. They're not really thinking, consciously creating their life. They're kind of like spectating. So what we need to do is change the program. Now, when you're dreaming, because I want you to start changing your mind, I want you to dream big. Okay, because I'm going to ask you to write down some things, when you go home. But how big is big? So here's this 48-year-old nun, out of shape, she's sore, never ran in her life, and one of her mentors said, look, you ought to take up running, biking, swimming, I don't know, exercise is going to be good for you. It's a way of tweaking the body, mind, and spirit. So she starts at 48 years old. She enters her first triathlon. Now, a triathlon, you bike a little bit over 100 miles, you swim a little over 2 miles, you run a 26-mile marathon, and you do all of these things, and you have to complete it in under 17 hours. I know. I'd like to pack it in over about a 6-month time. But this is a triathlon, okay? She completed her first at 52, then and she started to do it on a regular basis at 55 years old. They had to add a different category in for her because after 80, they didn't even have a category for triathlon people over 80. So she's still doing it. 2012, she's a world record holder at 92. At 82. This is her. So if somebody says, well, I can't do it, I'm too old, okay, I'm this, I'm that, I'm out of shape, my joints are sore, I do that. No, that's what you're creating, okay? I'm limitless. I'm made in the image and likeness of God. My body is constantly regenerating. My joints are only about 1.5 years old. All that disease and infirmity that I had is done. It's over. Okay, and so she's actually realizing it. Now, you know about placebo. You know, you take a pill, you think it's something, and you have the effect. What most people don't know is nocebo. That's like the evil twin brother. So we can actually go in there. I can give you a pill that has no effect on your body and say it's a pain reliever, and your body's going to produce endorphins. I can give you a pill that's that says that it lowers blood pressure, and I tell you it lowers blood pressure, and your blood pressure is going to get lower. So your body has to make different chemicals depending on what your perception is. Okay, now we know this. We can research this. I mean, we can measure the blood levels. We can measure the immune system response. We can have you watch a comedy, stick an irritant underneath your skin, watch a horror movie, stick an irritant, and we can see a 400% increase rate of immune system response under a positive mental attitude. So your mind is directly connected to the immune system. That's the positive. The negative is the nocebo effect. Okay, you can attract things in. So the more that you manifest degenerated joints or high blood pressure or cancerous tumors or fibroids, the more it actually appears. Now, this is something that's beyond our knowledge base because we're still in the dark ages now, because we can't measure thought. We can measure energy, but we don't know. I mean, thought really does have power. Now, this is the tough part. Disease is a belief system. Now, this is even more frustrating because if I say disease is a belief system, people will say, no, the world is flat. That's what we're taught. That's what we're taught. We're taught that disease exists. Really, what's the shape of diabetes? You guys are student doctors. How much does heart disease weigh? Oh, what does cancer look like outside of the body? Anyone ever see a box of stroke? No. No, you're thinking of the white powder. No, that leads to stroke. No. Okay, so you start looking at this, disease doesn't actually exist. Most of these diseases, they're manifested through either toxic deficient lifestyle, and you can change it. So it is from toxic deficient lifestyle, and this can be from toxic deficient thoughts. Now, when we look at this gal's reality, I mean, obviously she had some physical problems. That's her spine. But she was taught that she was sick. She was taught that she had an incurable disease called fibromyalgia. She was taking chemical after chemical after chemical. Now, these chemicals, did the doctor say this is going to correct the problem, this is going to make you feel better, or this is just going to decrease your symptoms? This is what you take for pain. This is what you take for this. And that's how the entire medical system's set up. You don't take a pill to make you healthier. You take a pill to lower your sick blood pressure. You take a pill to lower or change your blood levels because you're sick, okay? Your cholesterol's too high. Your this is too high. Okay, they're not affirming. So that's why the medications, they're not real effective. I mean, obviously, what we've talked to this girl, not only did we adjust her spine and reverse the arthritis and get her on healthy nutrients, but by God, every time we're adjusting her, I say, look, do you realize that you're made in the image and likeness of God? And that's only if you're Jewish, Muslim, or Christian, okay? I mean, that's a good hunk of the planet, but I'm sure Buddhist, Hindus, you know, all the other religions on the planet, they have some idea that the human body and mind is of a divine nature. Because otherwise the religions, I don't think, would be really successful. So when you understand this, that your body is more energy, your thoughts are vitally important to manifest healthy tissue. Your thoughts are vitally important to change physiology. If you don't have healthy thoughts, you're not going to do it. I worked with a chiropractor once for about 6 months, and it was mind-boggling. He was an atheist. I thought, how could you possibly work with a being of light and energy and not understand that they're more energy than matter? He's no longer a chiropractor, so it kind of makes sense. Okay, he didn't really succeed. Now, these are the 3 causes of disease. And people forget that there's only 3 causes of disease. It's trauma, toxicity, and thought. You can manifest disease. I mean, we know that because, I mean, in the Japanese study where they did people who were allergic to poison ivy, they rubbed a poison ivy leaf on one arm, they rubbed a leaf that looked like poison ivy but wasn't on the other arm. 100% of the kids developed poison ivy on the arm they rubbed the poison ivy on. And the other arm didn't have any reaction. What they didn't tell is they switched the leaves. So these kids had to manifest a histamine response on one arm, and they had to suppress a histamine response on the other. So could these kids have thought themselves into no longer being allergic? Yeah. So it's vital. What's frustrating, though, is a misperception can be lethal. Lethal. The more that you think about, because stress hormones keep you alive. I mean, in an instant, catecholamines, okay, endorphins, all of these things that are designed to suppress the immune system, that are secreted on your perception. Your perception, not what's actually happening to you. They're secreted on perception of environmental stimulus. This radically changes. This is kind of neat, because this is one of the exercises that you're going to be doing. But what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Would you ask her out? Huh? Okay, I know. She's beautiful, intelligent, hot. Okay. Would you write that book? Would you be bold? Would you? I mean, what would you do? Would you go skydiving? I mean, skydiving was scary for me because I always wanted to do it, and it's my fault for having kids like mine. I raised them kind of bold. And I told my oldest boy, I said, yeah, you know, I'd like to go skydiving. Okay, great, Dad, we're going next week. And I said, no. Someday. This week is like 4 days away. You know, I need to mentally prepare. He said, no, Dad, we already got reservations. So, you know, what do you do when there's no choice? I went with him. It's really fun. Okay, so your life begins where your comfort zone ends. And that's kind of true, kind of not. Okay, now, can you make someone change that doesn't want to change?
No.
I used to say no too. Okay? I'm going to give you an example. Okay, now let's say that we had a house that's actually on fire. The roof is on fire, 2-story house. There's a little bit of barbed wire around the front. The front porch is kind of rickety. The front door is locked, okay, and there's $100 on the coffee table. And I say, you get that $100, all you got to do is go in that burning house and get it. Would you go? Oh, heck no. Okay, your mom's in there asleep on the couch. Would you go in?
Yeah.
Nothing could stop you. Okay, a loved one. You'd break down the door. I'd go through the wall. Okay, so now, same scenario, different motivation. Can you get somebody to stop smoking who loves smoking cigarettes, who doesn't want to stop? Okay, good. Sit them down, put a gun to their head, and say, next time you light up, I'm pulling the trigger. Okay, guess what? They're going to probably stop. As long as the gun's there, but that's just it. It's the motivation, it's the leverage, okay? So you can't get somebody to change, you just have to find out what's motivating them. And what's motivating them is what's going to start them to change. It's the thought pattern. Like, and this is vitally important, like what's going to cause you to lose weight? Because you want to be healthy? Probably not. Because you want to go out with that nice person? Maybe. Because you want to be a good example to your kids? Maybe. Maybe because, you know, you want to be healthy to be with your spouse longer. Maybe you have to set a goal to be healthier. So this is huge. You have to find the leverage to change your life. And the leverage is going to be vital to get anything you want. How many people here know you should work out on a regular basis? Yeah, how many people do? Okay, it's a bad group. There's a lot here. But now what you do is, if you know you got to work out on a regular basis, but you don't, it means you don't have the right leverage. So if you do work out, your blood pressure is going to normalize, you're going to be healthier, you're going to live longer, your joints are going to be healthier. So this right here is vital. So it's going to be two things that are going to motivate you to change. Either the joy and the pleasure of actually initiating the change, or the pain of not doing it. Okay, so this is going to be vital. Now, this is, I love this, the success formula. And this is kind of interesting. I got this from Tony Robbins. And he takes about a day and a half to explain this. And it kind of makes sense. But there's only 5 things you got to do to be successful at any venture that you ever want to do. One of them is know your outcome. I know that's kind of sounds stupid, but if you're going through life without a direction, you're going to get exactly there. No place. Okay, so you got to know the outcome. Okay, so if you want to have a business, you want to have a good relationship, you want to have whatever you want. Okay, you want to have the freedom, financial freedom, you want to have health. You got to know your outcome. And more important than knowing what is to know why. Why do you want it? Okay, why do you want the degree? Why do you want the book? Why do you want the health? Why do you want to work out? Okay, and then you got to take actual action. And once you take the massive action, you got to check and double check yourself to see if you're going in the right direction. And this is huge. Are you getting the results? Like, let's say you want to work out, and your workout happens to be 12-ounce curls. Anyone remember the 12-ounce curls? You know, the beer can on the couch? Okay, if you're doing that workout of the 12-ounce curls on the couch, and you realize you're not getting in shape, okay, you got to change your approach. So the same thing, and he keeps changing your approach until you get it. Edison said that he never failed discovering the light bulb. It was just a 1,001-step process. Okay, he just didn't give up. The guy was right there. And now, this is huge. The meaning you give to the events are the actual events. Remember, this goes back to the self-talk. This is directly linked to the ultimate success formula. The meaning that you give to events directly equates to the emotions, and emotions are the quality of life. So now, it doesn't happen with what actually is happening to yourself. It's the meaning that you present to it. It's like, imagine if you were run over by a car. Okay? If you run over a car laying in the street and you say, God damned me to hell. Here I am bleeding and broken and I'm going to lose everything. Or you're bleeding on the ground. Wow, I've got a great opportunity. There's a good wake-up call. I can change my life completely. Or what if you're born, I don't know, remember the segregated South? Okay, back in like the 40s? What if you're poor, black, and blind in the segregated South? Would you say, wow, God gave me a really crappy hand? Okay, I'm pretty much done. Or would you say, I know what I want to do. I'm going to make a difference with my music. Anyone ever see the movie Ray Charles or Ray? Oh, man, I still like the guy's music. Okay, so the change the meaning changes the self-talk. If you're run over by a car, your self-talk is what an opportunity. If your wife leaves you, wow, what a great opportunity. I wasn't really happy with that relationship in the first place, okay? If you know, anything can be a great opportunity depending on your perception. So it's not really what's happening, it's the meaning you attach to the event. I love this guy. How would you like to build your own rocket ship? Who comes up with ideas like this? It means that it's limitless. He actually wanted to fly in space. It's the first private space aircraft ever. I mean, you don't do it unless you're passionate about something. Now, when you're reprogramming, how do you reprogram the subconscious mind? You do the self-talk. Okay, you have to look at the two different ones here. Conscious mind is what you're going to utilize to write down the goals and the things that you want. Reprogramming the unconscious mind is actually going to achieve it. And yeah, I do live on a sailboat. Okay, so I'm using the sailboat analogy. You take the rudder off of that thing, where's it going to go? Yeah, it's your good luck. I mean, you can still steer it a little bit with the sails, but you're not really going to get there. Okay, so this right here, the unconscious mind, that's the rudder, that's the direction. That tells you everything. It gets the job done. Now, it takes a lot of time. You need about 2 months a year to reprogram your brain. Sorry about that. There's no other way that you can do it. How many people have 2 months a year? Everybody. Everybody. And I'm going to show you how. All you need is an hour a day. Just 1 hour a day. And you might say, no, man, I'm up early, I work late, I'm busy all day long. Okay, break that hour up into 4 15-minute sections. Okay? You can have 15 minutes in the morning of meditation, of goal setting. You can have 15 minutes at lunch. Okay, just taking a breath, relaxing, reviewing your goals. You can have 15 minutes in the evening, okay, to prayer and refocus and get a little bit more energized. And the best time is right before bed. Because at bedtime, I got to tell you, you want to see something kick up into high gear? Watch mental activity of the subconscious mind, okay, when you sleep. It's brilliant. At nighttime, that's when your body repairs itself. This is amazing. And that's so that if you can do that every day, you're actually going to achieve limitless goals, because that is it. Jack Canfield came up with this formula. I mean, brilliant. Event plus response equals outcome. You can't control the economy, a family member dying. You can't control negative things that happen, a firing, job loss. You can't control this. You can absolutely control your response, and that changes the outcome. You are in complete control of your future. Complete control. All you got to do is understand that you can control your response without a doubt. Now, what's frustrating is that old book that people still read, what's it called? Bible. Okay, good, just checking. Knock and the door opens. Ask and it's given. You just got to learn how to ask. That's the whole thing with mentally programming. You ask and it actually happens. Now, this is what you have to do when you go home. Write down 100 goals and focus on whatever you want, not how you're going to get it. Now, you might say 100, that's a lot. That's the whole purpose of this. The answers that are inside of your mind, it's connected to the universal intelligence. You just got to know how to access it. Right now, you don't know how to access it. So when you write down 10 goals, like get in shape, bike ride, eat right, get organic meals, okay, good. That's about 10, 15 goals. Now what the heck do you do? I got an idea. How about learn Chinese? How about skydive? How about how to learn how to pilot? How about a cooking class in Tuscany? How about, think it, and because your brain is going to start to expand. When you write down 100 goals and make it limitless, so you don't have to think about how you're going to do it. Okay, you just have to do it. Imagine if you're a 48-year-old nun that's never exercised before, and she writes down Ironman. Is she crazy or smart? I know, I love this. Now here's the affirmations and incantations. This is the difference. Affirmations have to be written down in the present tense, and it has to be something that you actually have. So it's not, and the universe doesn't understand not. So you don't say, well, I want him to like me a little bit more. No, it's, I don't want as many bills. No. I want abundance. I want financial freedom. I want passion, joy. This is what I have. I have in my life. So it's in present tense. So do you understand? And it has to be done. Now, there's an affirmation here that's amazing on abundance. I got this off of Tony Robbins, off of YouTube. And what's neat is, remember, how much in communication percentage is words? Like 7%. How much in intonation or quality of your voice? It's around 38%. How about body? 55%. So if you sat down here and read abundance, God's wealth is circulating in my life and flows in avalanches of abundance. All my needs. Okay, sorry, I was sleeping there. If you stand up, if you can physically manifest it, if you move like you're confident, okay, if you breathe correctly, imagine if you said it with enthusiasm. Abundance, God's wealth is circulating in my life and flows to me in an avalanche of abundance. All my needs, desires, and goals are met instantly by infinite intelligence, for I am one with God, and God is everything. Ooh. Doesn't that give you goosebumps? How'd you like to start off the day like that? Wouldn't that make you like dynamic and fun? Oh my God. And so when we look at this is how your system has to be. When you look at Everything that you're doing, you might say, well, I'm almost there. I'm almost successful. I'm almost this, okay? Keep at it. Don't give up. Because no matter what happens, you're 1 millimeter away from success. And has anyone ever golfed in here? It's absolutely a horrible sport. But I mean, I golf, okay? And I can golf all day long, and I'll think about that one hit that went right on the green. Of course, the other one, boom, okay? I mean, I can shoot around a corner. And all it is one tiny little change at the head is going to mean perfect or not perfect. And that's how your life is. You don't have to make massive changes. If you do one tiny change every day, tiny change, I mean, start journaling tonight. Write down your goals tomorrow. Okay, one little tiny change. Review your goals every day. Say something positive in the mirror when you see in the morning. You wake up, you're brushing your teeth. Stop thinking about, what clothes you're going to wear when you're brushing your teeth. Look in the mirror and say, wow, I'm really made in the image and likeness of God. I mean, that's goosebump stuff. That's going to start the flow of energy into your body that day. This right here, obviously this is distorted. Trauma. What are the 3 causes of disease? Trauma, toxicity, and thought. This man was told, he was 56 years old, that he was sick. He was told that he had high blood pressure. He was told that he was always going to be on medications. And that was his belief system. What happens to a guy like that? He's going to die early. Okay, this is him. I mean, yeah, I'm adjusting the body. I'm the best chiropractor I know, and the most modest. But when you look at this, okay, it is, do I just adjust the spine? Or do we explain to him that his body is always healing, it's always regenerating? This is more important. It's as important as the adjustment. It's as important as his mental state change, his physical state, and his nutrition change. I mean, again, massive fibromyalgia, destroyed. I mean, this right here, toxic trauma. This fruit, this vegetables, they have a life force about it. So if you're going to put food in you that has no energy, okay, that isn't from the ground, that's genetically modified, you die early. Now this quote I saw from Franklin Roosevelt, I'm thinking, this is back in the 30s? How could he be that smart? I thought we were only smart now. Okay. A nation that destroys its soil destroys itself. Okay, this was before genetically modified plants had drawn up all the soil and destroyed it. Okay, but talk about prophetic. Forests are the lungs of our land, purifying the air and giving fresh strength to our people. So I guess we have to take care of our planet too. Okay. Now, this is absolutely what you require, okay, in order to change your mind, to achieve success. You've got to have a healthy nerve supply, that full vital force. You've got to have regular exercise. Why regular exercise? Because it changes your state. When you're reading these incantations, are you reading it quiet or are you reading it with full strength and full energy? So exercising is a great time to study. Get something, some type of listening device, an iPod, iPad, whatever the heck pad, and listen to it. Proper nutrition. Make sure that food has the same kind of energy as you. I mean, all you got to do is look at a Kirlian photography of a hot dog or a Kirlian photography of broccoli. My God, broccoli looks like it's exploding. A hot dog is dead. Okay? Sufficient rest. This means you go to bed. Right before you go to bed, you read your goals. You review it. You prep your mind right before you go to bed because your mind is going to change your physiology, change the attraction. And prayer and meditation. This is absolutely vital. Why? Because this is the rudder on your ship. This sets your direction. This tells you where you're going to go, prayer and meditation. And it's universal. Every time you pray over water, it changes its structure. In your body, 70% water. Every time you pray, it changes the society or the world. This is more important. If you're an atheist, meditate. You're still going to get the same results. Of course, if you meditate long enough, you're probably not going to be an atheist. It's true. You're going to start getting connected to something beyond yourself. You're going to know that there's something beyond yourself. Now, Lori's got coupons back there. Okay, next week, what we're going to be talking about is holiday blues. Okay, how to absolutely, why depression occurs around holiday and how to change it. But understand, I mean, tonight's talk has to do about changing your mindset. And no matter what circumstances you've gone through, whether it's health challenges or mental challenges or relationship challenges or any of that, it's all in your control, even though it doesn't feel like it. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.